Joining us now is News Corp Australia Europe correspondent and Sky News Australia contributor, Sophie Elsworth. Sophie, great to see you. Thanks for joining us here on Outsiders as always. Now, let's have a little bit of a chat about the man formerly known as Prince Andrew. What's the mood in Britain? What's happening? Is there a kind of mob thing going, yes, this is fantastic? Are people sad about what's happened to the fall of this guy? I mean, he was a hero during the Falklands. Did King Charles have to kind of, is this a family thing? Is it a reputational thing? What's your take on it, Sophie?
Yeah, great to be with you guys this morning. Look, it's been an absolute shambles here in the UK. Just today in the Daily Mail alone, there were 15 pages of content dedicated to the fallout from the former Prince, now Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, and the disgraced Prince now that he's being referred to. The scandals surrounding him have just kept growing and growing, and the headlines have just kept coming and coming, and this has not subsided. The mood in Britain really is that they've had a gutful of, keep having to stop myself from saying Prince Andrew, but they've had a gutful of Andrew, and they're angry. They feel like he has been protected. He has lived in, this lavish mansion, this 30-room mansion on Windsor Estate with peppercorn rent. He's been protected because of who he is. But finally, the axe has fallen, and now he's been told to get out of the Royal Lodge. He's been told to pack his suitcases. He's had his titles stripped, and he's really been sent to the doghouse, and it's going to be incredibly hard for him to redeem himself. And definitely the mood when I talk to the Brits here on the ground, they are angry, and they dislike him now. Remarkably, it seems more than Meghan and Harry.
Well, that's a lot of dislike there. That's, wow. Yeah. We are learning some of the allegations here, Sophie, that are appalling. Orgies on Epstein's Island, all sorts of alleged antics in Thailand, just quite reprehensible. And there's also been reports, which I'd love you to expand on, that Princess Catherine has had a role to play in stripping Andrew of his title and just really ostracising him from the family, and that she has been particularly disgusted by what she has learnt.
That's right, Rita, and it's not only Princess Catherine, it's also Queen Camilla, who is quite furious because they did put out the joint statements, being the Queen and the King. They put out that joint statement on Thursday night here, local time, saying that Andrew had been stripped of his titles, and it dropped here just at 7 o'clock local time. The media was in, panic because they had to change all their newspapers. It was right on deadline. This was massive news, not only here, obviously, in the UK, but all around the world. But the fallout is massive, and even details now coming out that Andrew will not be moving to Sandringham Estate to live at the private king's residence or estate that he owns until after Christmas, to avoid that awkwardness when the royals do travel for their annual Christmas festivities at Sandringham. Sarah Ferguson, she's also very much on the outer now. She's had all her associations with the charity work, and she did some very good charity work. They've all abandoned her. So the word is here in the reporting in the UK is that she will no longer live with her ex-husband, and we know that she has lived with him since they've divorced. They've lived together, and she has said they're the happiest divorced couple in the world. So she's also very much disgraced as well. And this puts extra pressure on their children, Beatrice and Eugenie, the princesses, who are not in the country at the moment. They were away when this news broke. But not forgetting, Andrew is in line to the throne. He's eighth in line to the throne. And the government here has said they have no plans to change that because it would take legislation to do so.
James.
Moving on to other sort of less unsavory matters, although it's the UK Labour Party, so it is still kind of unsavory. I note that now major Labour figure Zarah Sultana has suggested that Nigel Farage is comparable to, wait for it, Sophie, Hitler. Are we now at the point now where Nigel Farage is, you know, the new sort of Hitler? Is Trump no longer Hitler? It's now Nigel Farage?
Well, James, they're pretty disgraceful comments that Zarah Sultana made. Now, she's launched this new party. It's got an odd name, Your Party, with the former Labor leader, Jeremy Corbyn, a very obviously left-leaning party. But this is interesting because it's stripping away voters that are traditionally Labor. They're peeling off left and they're also peeling off right. And this is where Nigel Farage comes in because he's the biggest threat to the political landscape right here in the UK now. We know that he's dominating in the polls. He's winning every poll. He won a poll last week showing that he's the preferred Prime Minister now. Not forgetting that we are quite a few years away. The next general election is not due until 2029. But he's had everything thrown at him. He had Sir Keir Starmer coming out saying he had racist policies with his anti-migration stance. Now, Nigel Farage has been incredibly strong on this, and I can assure you it is the biggest issue here in the UK. Everyone talks about it because it's a laughing stock here that you can just sail in on a boat, move into the UK, be put up in a hotel, given a bag of cash, and live quite freely here. And this has been such a problem for the government that they cannot get a grip on. And this is something that Nigel Farage has been very strong on. And now the Conservatives, who are basically irrelevant, have also tried to show that they're very much on board with stamping out illegal migration, but they're not getting the sound bites, as is Nigel Farage.